my older sister and myself, we never were able to be children. And we had to work from the time we were 6 years old, selling pencils from door to door. We'd always tell them, that our dad was sick and out of work, and that's why we were selling pencils. So instead of giving us 5 cents for a pencil, they would give us sometimes 50 cents, $1. They've even given us before $5, $10, $20. And people were so generous, and they would sometimes give us, they'd be making food for dinner, and they would give us where we hadn't eaten probably since breakfast, or they give us clothes for mom or dad, as well as they gave us clothes for ourselves. But we weren't allowed to go home until we at least made $10. And I never got to see 1 penny that I had made, ever. When we sold pencils, we had to hand every penny over to my dad. We never got to keep 1 penny of it.
Mom used to make sure that we had more food than we needed, make sure that we had clothes that we could grow into, and she was always worried about us doing without because of everything she didn't have when she was growing up, or she thought she had, and then her house would catch on fire and they would lose everything, and then she wouldn't have anything except she was dependent on what people gave her. Because Mom was one of the oldest kids, she feels or has felt responsible for her siblings and taking care of people, and that's in her DNA. I think we definitely share that part. Like, we both are people who love to give. It's just kind of who we are. We like to take care of people. I think it is, Mom's hospitality gene is kind of a combination of her just wanting to cook and make sure everybody has plenty of stuff, not only for today, but for future. And for me, I think I handle it in a way that's like, I'm about today and tomorrow, and that's it.
I think that Granny dealt with a lot of adversity, and I think she had to kind of mentor herself and figure things out for herself a lot, because she didn't have that trust system. And I think that it created a weird combination of positive and negative, right? So I think she comes from a place of always wanting to feed people and give gifts, and she really remembers the gifts that she gives people. Like, she really puts thought and heart into it, and for her that's such a big deal because she never got that growing up. So I think that really, that's where a lot of that comes from. But I think she never feels 100% secure as well, though. Like, she's never been able to feel totally safe and like, I'm doing this right and I'm truly the matriarch. Like, it's like she feels like she's always trying to prove herself still.
I like to be a minimalist, and I try to purge frequently. I don't like having a lot of stuff. I think because Mom didn't have a lot of stuff, she feels comfortable having things around her. I get like a feeling of anxiety when I have stuff everywhere, and I always feel like I need to be like giving stuff away.
My mom, I think what works for her is being able to be social. Like, we are very in common how we are goofballs, and we can be clumsy. We have like that knee-jerk reaction to just like laugh really hard when things get goofy. I think Granny would struggle to laugh at herself, but like as she got older, she would laugh a lot more at herself. So she's gotten a lot better about that. I think my mom was always good about laughing about herself, but I think she seeks a lot of approval through like friends versus family. As I started getting a little bit older, I would spend summers with my grandparents, and that time I realized was more important to me. It wasn't so much, it started to switch. Yeah. So I think I started doing a lot of self-reflection as I was really in my like teenage years, and even earlier in my 20s, I moved out as fast as I could. I tried to be independent and I wanted to go live. And, I struggled at first on my own, and, both my mom and my grandparents really helped me by giving me things like food or like money toward food and things like that when I was hungry, you know. And so I think a lot of that put a lot into perspective. So I was able to not only empathize with the initial struggles early on, but also really refocus what to value and what was most important. And the older I get, the more I see that true relationships with family and friends, like, and basic necessities means more than anything materialistic or even like an overabundance of like food and things like that. So, and I think that also as they've gotten older, they've kind of started to feel the same. Yeah. So I think we've all kind of come a little bit full circle, which is kind of cool to see.
My kids speak for themselves. Michelle, she is head of the HR group for Mizzen and Maine. And then there's Bernie that has 2 law firms, one in Charleston and one in Columbus, Ohio. And then Kim is a physician's assistant at University of Texas Southwestern. I want my family to be all they can be and more. I never stop expecting.